What's up guys, JJ here. We are going to see the Adobe Photoshop tutorials part 2, the effects panel in this video. Actually we have done the interface in part 1 in my previous video. So if you have not seen it yet, check it out. The links in the description. So now we are going to actually add some effects to this rectangle like the outer glow, drop shadow and some other stuffs. And these are very simple to do. So first make sure that you are selected in the layer where you are gonna work. So as you can see in the layers tab, it's basically like a hierarchy system. So which is in top will stay above. So for example, if I bring the background to the top, then the rectangle goes back. So when I drag the background and keep it on the top, the rectangle goes back to the background. So it's basically like a layering system. So we have to be aware that background is in the bottom of every other layers. So to add effects, just double click on the rectangle in the layers. So the layer style tab opens, through which we are going to add some effects to the rectangle. So first we are going to see the bevel and emboss, which is basically like making this 2D rectangle look like 3D. So as you can see, this the tips are blunt and it kind of actually like a 3D shape of the rectangle. So you can change as inner bevel and outer bevel. So you can increase the depth, the size of the bevel and emboss, and actually you can change the directions to up or down. Yeah, the 3D animation goes down and up. So and you can also soften the tips of the 3D animation. So when we increase that, it becomes very blunt, and when we decrease, it becomes sharp. So these are some of the steps inside the bevel, and you can also change the angle from where it should look like a 3D animation. Yeah. So there are lots of options. I'm just telling the basics. And next we are going to see the stroke. Stroke is basically like an outer layer, outer border. We can say as border. Yeah. So I'm gonna change the color. So it's currently in a green color. So let's change to yellow and give OK. And the border, we can increase the opacity of the border and the size of the border. As you can see, much larger is not looking neat, so let's decrease to some percentage. Yeah, it looks neat. This is the stroke layer effects in the Photoshop. So you can keep the position inside also, inside to the rectangle also, or you can keep it in outside also. That's your wish. And yeah, we have lots of blend mode. Then we are gonna see the inner shadow. It kind of actually creates a shadow inside the rectangle. So same here too, we can increase the distance, the size, the opacity, we can change the angle, everything. So I'm just gonna keep which looks nice. As shadow comes. So next we are gonna see the inner glow. It's also like kind of shadow and stroke mixed, you can say. It gives a glow through inside the rectangle. It kind of feels good when we keep it to customize some of the shapes that we will work on in the Photoshop. Yeah, as you can see, that's the tiny bit differences when we use these layers effects. Yeah. So next one is the satin. It makes like a double color when we apply it. So it's like a black and red mixed color. You can change the color too, that's your wish. Opacity. So when we increase the opacity, it looks more darker, and when we decrease, it looks light. So I'm just gonna keep in 27%. and here too we can change the angles from where these double shadows, double colors should look like, and increase the distance and sizes as every other effects we have gone through now. Yeah. Next is the color overlay. It's just like a background color, total color will change when we use this. So for example, I'm using red now, but we can use any color to make it as a overlaying. So it's a color overlay, and we have to increase the opacity so that we can see that color. Yeah, so it's like changing the color of the rectangle, that's it, not much difference on that. So actually now we are not gonna use this, we will change it to the default, or we can keep the red color, which is same, to the previous one. So next one, we are gonna see the gradient overlay. It's like a degree of overlay in the shape, so you can see only tiny bit changes when you use this gradient overlay, not much. You can see a little bit difference in the color of the rectangle or something like that. Yeah, you can, here too you can change the angles, the scales, the opacity, everything. So we are not going to do the pattern overlay because it just changes the whole red color to a pattern like thing, which is default in the Photoshop. So next we are going to see the outer glow. It's like opposite to the inner glow, which gives glow from outside the rectangle, which is opposite to the inner glow. Here too you can change the range, size, spread, everything. As you can see, the outer glow, that gives a little glow to the outer, which look aesthetic. I'm just gonna reset to default. And this is the drop shadow. It's this also, it's like opposite to inner shadow. It has the shadow outside the rectangle, which kind of looks nice. Yeah. So here we can change the opacity so that we can have a depth shadow, deep shadow. Yeah, but much deeper is not like a shadow, so I'm just gonna decrease the opacity. And distance, as you can see, the distance of the shadow increases, the spread of the shadow increases, the size, everything we have in every layer style. So we can change the angle too here. From where it should be look like a shadow. Yeah, this one looks nice. So I have customized a normal rectangle into a different animated 3D effects and drop shadow, everything kinda like it's nice to see when we customize that rectangle. So these are some basics you should know in the Photoshop, so that when you do some big projects or something like that, it will be easy for us to access those kind of stuffs. So if you guys like this video, like it, share it, comment on this video, subscribe my channel, and don't miss any of the videos, and catch you guys in the next one.